right, what's up? It's Dominic.
Whoa.
It is live on what is it? Sunday night.
Yay!
And it's one of a kind with RVD, but
Fun day.
Yeah, Sunday fun day. We got a special guest here for our Christmas celebration. It's none other than Violent J of ICP. Lunacy. Jay, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm happy to be here. I thank you guys for having me on. This is nothing but the absolute shit to me. This is awesome.
Well, thanks for being with us, Jay. And it's going to be neat to hear you and Rob talk it up, talk some shop and stuff like that. Two Michigan fellas. And Rob was telling me the stories about how way back when he first met you. And so it's going to be a fun show, I think.
Yeah, I want to see if his memory is the same as my memory of meeting each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did I know you before the show in Indianapolis? No, that's where I met you, right?
Yes, you did before Indianapolis.
But
Aztec Hall.
Okay. All right, yeah, because we're about around the same time. Yeah, so I already knew. Hey, you did that. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any story for Aztec Hall, so I'll go to the next one. They're in Indiana. But I've already told this story, but it's fun to tell. So where, I don't know, it was Indianapolis or Fort Wayne?
Fort Wayne.
Okay. And then Joe had an Army gimmick on. He was Corporal Daniels. And this was like, we were right on the heels of the Desert Storm. It was very much in the news, a hot topic. And so his character is Corporal Daniels. And and he came down like to start the show. It's not like there was 10,000 people there. It was a small armory show, but that made it even more quiet, because it was like, we'd been there for a couple hours, then boom, now the show's going to start. Like, oh shit, everyone's paying attention.
First match.
Was paying attention, and the very first guy to come down was Corporal Daniels. Comes out of the dressing room and starts handing all these little flags out to everybody in the front row. Everyone gets like a little flag and stuff. He gets in the ring and he goes, "How about those troops?" Yeah, and then he like leans back into the rope. So decides he's gonna run the ropes a little bit. So he runs, bounces off the ropes, and he runs and he trips and falls right under the bottom rope and rolls all the way out to the floor. And this was the very first thing to happen of the whole show. I was laughing.
I slid all the way to the hot dog stand.
Yeah. And I know me and
listen,
Dango were
I was going
so hard. I know you could hear us through the whole match laughing.
I was going fast.
Yeah,
I used to run the ropes as fast as I could.
Yeah.
And every time I ever did it, I almost busted my ass. So I should have known, you know what I'm saying? Because I'd be going so incredibly fast. I was trying to get like my thing, you know what I mean? And man, I just flew like I lost my footing, and I flew across the ring and just clear under the bottom rope, and I just slid on that tile floor. I just slid. I had so much momentum and speed going behind me. Man, I just remember hitting the floor and just sliding, And I was wrestling Malcolm Monroe, and he was on his way down to the ring, and he was like, "I didn't even get in the ring yet," and I kicked his ass or something like that. It was so funny.
I was crying because I was laughing so hard I couldn't stop. My stomach hurt. I laughed.
You know what's crazy is there was all those TV cameras and shit set up, so I always thought I would see that someday somewhere.
Yeah, right? Oh, wow. Yeah, so you haven't seen footage or anything of it?
No, this was a TV taping and everything. Wow. I remember, and they had a hard camera and everything set up, so they were filming. You know what I'm saying? I don't know whatever happened to it.
The next guy that came down for the third match, I think he was a fake Jake the Snake or something, like some snake character gimmick. And I think he like went to jump over the top rope and then got hung up and tripped and like rolled on it and like fell down. And I was like, oh my God, this is great. What a show.
Did I do that? I did that?
No,
there was a guy. He was like a.
That's right. That's right. The other guy fucked up. I remember. I felt like it took heat off me.
Yeah, it did. It's like a fake Jake the Snake, like
Lenny the
Yeah,
Lizard.
that's right.
make the snake. I don't know.
That's right.
Snake.
I forgot about that. He fucked up really bad too. You know, I was like, whew, it's
But
the ring or something.
do you remember at the Azteca Hall though, like the actual meeting for the first time?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Is there a story there?
Azteca Hall was a hall that was right in Rudy's, the Rude Boys neighborhood, which is a friend of mine from way back. He's a wrestler too. But I was staying with him at the time, and that was right in our neighborhood, you know, at Azteca Hall. And I told the promoter, whose name was Sweet Daddy Malcolm Monroe, I told him a while ago that I had trained at the Chris Adams Wrestling School of Texas. Because I saw an ad for it in a wrestling magazine, you know what I'm saying? And I wished I could go so bad, you know? So I just told him that one day. And the thing is, I'm not a liar. Like, I don't lie. So when I told him this, I bet my face got all red. I just wanted to wrestle so bad, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I knew I didn't have the money to go to school or nothing. So we used to go and help him set up chairs and everything. And finally, somebody didn't show, and he was like, I'm gonna put you in, kid. And I was like, fuck yeah. The first thing I remember about when I got into independent wrestling and that show at Azteca Hall, there were, and it's totally different now. There were no young guys. There were none. And I'm not saying I was 19 looking at a 25-year-old thinking he's old.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, damn near everybody in that locker room was like 35 or older. That's being generous.
Wow.
Like they didn't let people in back then. It was like a fucking fraternity or something. You had to, it wasn't just like it is now, you know, and they were just holding people back. I don't know, but it was all old guys. Mike Anthony, Mac Anthony, Dave Sinange, Cowboy Woody Lee, Iron Mike, Irish Mickey Mike Kelly, Irish Mike Kelly,
Irish Mickey Doyle, Irish
Mickey
Mike
Doyle.
Oh,
Those guys were all older than us. You know what I mean? And I remember that, like dang, because they used to fuck with me. They used to be like, "Are you still?" That was right when I was just starting to rap, and they would be like, "Are you still rapping?" You know, cracking on me in the back and everything. And Coach Kurt was a promoter. Remember Kurt Schneider?
No.
He wrote for the Detroit News, and he did a wrestling column every week, every Wednesday. And
I remember Schneider, the handyman.
You know, I used to work for him. He wanted to change my name to Bazooka Joe Rap. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck that was about.
Like to come?
But on my first match, I told him fuck no. On my first match, we got there, and Rob and Dango were the only young kids in there. And you had Al Snow, who was younger, you know what I mean? But a little bit, I think a little bit older than us. Or I thought he was.
He is.
And Sabu. Okay, Sabu didn't talk to me at all. But Rob and Dango were chilling in a corner, and I just naturally gravitated over toward them because they were young. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And we just start talking. And Rob, we became super close, man, for a minute back then. You know what I'm saying? I remember laying in my hallway when I lived in a little Cass Corridor apartment with Joey. I remember laying in the hallway on my back talking to Rob for hours and shit on the phone. There wasn't no texting back then. You know what I'm saying? And we would just talk about everything, man. You know what I mean? That was right at the beginning days of ICP. And he would always be like, yo, I really dig your shit. And I'd be like, thanks, man. And he'd be like, no, seriously, man. Like, I really dig it. It's really good, man. You know? And I remember that. And I'd be like, fuck yeah, you know? And I think that was his way of saying, keep going. You know what I'm saying? Because that was right in the very beginning days. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was saying you're a better rapper than wrestler, you know? And you were like, oh, my heart's in wrestling, though. I'm like, yeah, but dude, like, you can make money. You know, you could be big.
But they gave me a match with Irish Mickey Doyle that night, and he was great. He could work. He was older, but he could work. And I I just did everything I could, man, and I ended up hurting my elbow. But what happened was Al Snow was at that show, and he saw me, and he asked me if I wanted to be in a 2-ring battle royal he was having in Lima, Ohio. And I was like, fuck yeah. And at the same time, Malcolm Monroe, the guy who let me on that show, he was like, hey, you got a car? And I was like, yeah, talking about my girlfriend's car. And he was like, Fort Wayne, Indiana. I got us a booking. And it was the next day after Lima, Ohio. So we were going on a little mini wrestling tour, man.
Yeah.
2 days. It was dope, man. Everything to me, man. And I borrowed my girlfriend's car, and I drove Malcolm. And I can't even remember who else was in the car.
Huck.
But anyway, that's where Fort Wayne happened, Rob.
Joe, you had Huck the referee in the car with you?
Yes, Huck. That's right. Huck. That's right. I used to drive all those guys around in my girlfriend's car. I remember one time me and the real Bobo Jr., not Calypso Jim. Remember him?
Yeah. Yeah.
But the real Bobo Jr.
That was the main event at the Azteca Hall. The Sheik and Bobo Brazil. Me and Sheik.
They were the main event.
Yeah.
And both of them were old. And Bobo came out to the ring. He had a guy on each arm, like he had his arm around their heads, you know. And he was making it like, yeah, these are my guys or whatever, but they were holding them up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Dinosaur match. Yeah.
And he got in the ring and he stood in the corner and he held himself up with the ropes, right? Sheik would come to him and feed. Bobo would hit him. Sheik would go sell that forever. But they were doing it, man. And if that would have been in Japan, that shit would have been off the hook. You know what I'm saying? Probably filled. But we were seeing it at Azteca Hall, and it was my first match on there. You know what I mean? And it meant everything to me. I get to forever brag for the rest of my life that my first match, the main event that night, was the Sheik versus Bobo Brazil. It sounds like I'm talking about the old Kobo days.
No, but also that's the last time that match would ever happen.
Really?
Absolutely. I don't even think that Bobo wrestled again after that. I think that was his last match.
Wow.
Really?
Damn.
Yeah. You know, Joe, like, you know how you're talking about how everybody was old and stuff. It seemed to me throughout my career, it was like that till the very last second. I was talking last week about aging and saying, you know, like, I love aging and getting older. And it felt to me like I was fighting for respect against the already established my entire life until all of a sudden I wasn't anymore. And that was at the very, very like end of my full-time career and everything. Maybe afterwards, when people finally are starting to make me feel like they give me the respect for my experience or whatever. But it always felt like that when I was in WCW, when I was in WWE, always like. So that's another reason that I think that I don't feel like another 54-year-old man that lived a different life, because I was treated as if I didn't have enough experience until like yesterday. It seems like.
Yeah, man. My whole career, me and Joey feared being labeled old school. You know, it's like when you're labeled old school in music, you're done. You know, we feared it. We fought and did everything we could not to be seen as old school. And for us, we got fortunate because there was never a time where we just exploded, you know. So we got to be new to somebody for a long time. You know what I mean? While we got bigger and bigger. But when we were old school undeniably, the part we feared our whole career turns out to be the best, most rewarding time of my career. Everybody's throwing words around like legend, and the music industry today, they accept us, that they'll invite us to their shows. You know what I mean? But when you were coming out, all the other musicians looked at you as like opponents or something. You know what I mean? Like competition. So there was no camaraderie. But when you're old school and you've already ran your race, other musicians today are so welcoming and great to us. You know what I mean? And It's wild. We can get on shows, hip hop radio shows we could have never got on our entire career until we're all of a sudden old school, and then they want to talk to us. You know what I'm saying? It turned out to be the most rewarding. So I get what you're saying exactly, Rob. It's strange how that works, and I don't mind growing older either.
I love,
you know what I'm saying?
Part of life, like you said, it's so rewarding. Yeah,
it is, and it's also nobody escapes it, and it's also it's part of life, and it's not as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah, and a point that I brought up last week, a lot of our peers didn't get to live to be old. You know,
you're right.
A lot of them. So
it's a blessing. You don't live to be old being dumb either. You know what I'm saying? So it's a blessing to be old.
Yeah. Jay, do you feel a certain I always feel like I'm 39 right now, but I feel like I'm 28 years old. Like I don't feel anything like. Did you feel a certain age, like still at this juncture, like I'm this age, but I certainly feel a different kind of age.
I'll tell you this.
Yeah,
I feel it. Yes, I can't lie.
Yeah,
I feel it like a motherfucker. All right, in my body. Okay?
Yeah,
but in my mind, like I've only been with my girlfriend for like a year and a half, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I start talking to my girlfriend, if I'd have known my conversations with a girl would have sounded like that at 51,
I
would have never worried about becoming 51. I thought I'd be corny as fuck at 51. You know what I'm saying? I thought I would be lame as fuck, like my neighbor Tom, watering the grass. That's the best excuse I can think every time because he was lame as fuck and his conversation sucked, you know, and I thought I would be like him, you know? But no, it's like life is still fresh, you know what I'm saying? And I'm basically the same ninja I've always been, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, if I'd have known I'd be trying to get some ass at 51, I wouldn't have, and it would be the same way it was when I was 29, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have worried about it. It's the same game. It's the same everything, you know. I still like to dress fresh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like to dress fresh. Nothing's really changed. I think our mindset stays young too because we're musicians and it sort of has to. Nobody wants to hear a 52-year-old rap. You know what I mean? So you got to try to, you know, let them get lost in the illusion of what you're saying. So we live in a younger person's world. You know, Rob too. You know what I mean? Wrestling is very accepting of legends, but it's a younger wrestler's game. That's who takes up most of the time on Raw and all that. You know, but in the same way in music, of course. You know what I mean? But yeah, being old is definitely been a lot more rewarding than it's ever been. We're playing all these festivals now. We didn't play a festival for 16 years in a row. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We stopped doing festivals. Now we go back, we do a festival. It's like the whole place loves us now. It makes me want to cry because our whole career, it's always been 500 to 1,000 juggalos up front at the festivals. And the rest of the crowd would either be like this or just stand there like statues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
getting sprayed with
every festival experience we had was like that. You know, but now we do a festival, everybody gives us love, and it's like, holy shit, it's like just a different generation. Like we've always been the world's most hated band, but it's not like that no more. You know what I'm saying? Something happened, the generations changed or whatever the fuck it is. It's just not we're not looked at like that, you know. Rob's a Hall of Famer, you know what I'm saying? Just like you said, you're fighting to get respect. You know what I'm saying? Your whole career.
You know, it's like I wasn't always considered cool. I didn't get a lot of girls in high school. That didn't happen until recently. Wait. No. Can't leave it there.
Kate, did you feel the same way too overall? Like, do you like getting old, but you feel a certain age in your mind too at the same time?
I feel like entertainers are seeing younger because they're like out in the streets meeting different people, so they know what's relevant in culture.
Yeah.
So it always seems like people that are entertainers just have young energy.
That's a great point.
I definitely do. I am more in touch with things that I loved as a child now because I can afford it. So it's like everything Barbie. Like, so I still like embrace stuff that I've always loved.
Yeah.
Yeah, our dog's name's Barbie.
RVD.
I wear like cartoons on my clothes and stuff like that. So I just feel like you don't like have to grow up, but also, I just like what I like.
That's a great point too, to keep all
I think
that.
I was told, by the way, to grow up until probably at least my 40s. Grow up.
It's a choice.
It's something I heard a lot as a kid. You know, ew, grow up.
Well, that's
I
why
think growing up stopped being cool in like the 60s and 70s or something. You know, acting like a dad. You know what I'm saying? Like acting like an adult. You know, I think that just kind of died off, and people are allowed to have more fun these days. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think people loosened up a little bit too, and it's just like that whole thing that goes with it. It kind of gets washed away, I think, in certain ways. Something you guys brought up too, and last week we talked about that Drew McIntyre promo. Something I forgot to mention about that is, and I don't know if you picked up on it too, but he said it's like the marks are in the locker room now. And like basically like they let everybody in the locker room and stuff like that. And like from what Jay, you were just saying too, how it was a bunch of older guys down up in Detroit, like when you were wrestling there and stuff. Like, do you guys get that kind of vibe too? It's like everybody's in the locker room now. There's not this sacred kind of like, hush hush thing, which I think can be definitely contradictory to what you're trying to protect of the business,
Everything's out in the open now,
Yeah.
It was a lot different back then, it was a whole, shit, I was 20, what is it? I've been doing 34 years ago or 33 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That was the industry couldn't be any more different. You know what I'm saying? To me, the industry moves fast now. Like feuds are quicker. Everything's quicker. It moves fast now, and there's so much to look at. Like when I look at today's wrestling, there's the fucking LED on the ring, the LED in the arena, on the back of the walls. You know what I'm saying? The whole entranceway is a fucking 19-story fucking thing. And it's like, there's so much to look at. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a fan of fucking, you know what I'm saying? Old school, like, everything's dark but over the ring. You know what I'm saying? I like that shit.
Oh yeah.
I like all the attention to be on the ring.
That's what I'm saying. Give it to them. There's just and I know I sound like an old man saying this shit to anybody young listening, because that's all they know is what they see today. You know what I'm saying? They probably look lame as fuck when they look at the old tapes. all the glamour's gone, But yeah, man, it was just the only show was happening in the ring. You know what I'm saying? And it was I feel like it took the attention. It's like today's wrestling almost sort of gives me anxiety. Like I was thinking about it. If we went back to the WWE today, you never know. You know what I'm saying? Stranger things have happened. But I was thinking how much different it would probably be than when we were there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very much so. It definitely would be, right? Like that's the crazy
just a whole new fleet of people.
Yeah. And the new regime kind of thing. And like Rob and Katie, you guys were saying when you went to SmackDown too, how there's just that different type of energy going on there too.
Yeah, it was a good energy. It was really fun. It seemed like everybody.
Rob would know the difference, you know what I mean? Because he was there both times, you know what I'm saying? Like he was there back then and recently, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How different is it, Rob?
Oh, it's night and day, and I felt a little bit out of place. I would have to really adjust, which would be doable because I'd be the only one that needed it. And used to be, especially the TV days, you've already been on the road for half a week and you're beat up and tired and you want to get in and get out of there. And my peers used to be kind of tired on those long days, and kind of like, going through the motions. Now it's like people are reporting to their job, like they're excited to be there. They do seem younger, but they seem like they're happy, and everyone's in a good mood. They're not worn out. They haven't partied their ass off all weekend like a lot of my peers, and they would tire themselves out. And so, what, baby?
I said the girls have ass now.
Man, so it's. I mean, it sounds better.
It is better. It is better.
NXT was awesome. The roster is so good,
and they're putting a lot of love on being a legend right now. Like that's something that's part of their current product, which is pretty cool, pretty good for us. On the fringes or whatever, but for the Drew McIntyre question, my take on that is that he's right that it's the marks in the dressing room now, but it's not like, I don't think during his career span that he saw it change. In other words, way back in the day, I don't know. I mean, maybe he's been doing it as long as me, because I guess I was there at the tail end of the older guys. I've told this story a bunch. First time I was loud in the dressing room, don't talk to anybody unless they talk to you, unless you're going to introduce yourself. You're either a wrestler or you're a fan. You can't be both. Don't come in here if you're going to be a fan. And anyway, that was like brainwashed into me, and now it's I take pictures with a lot of the other wrestlers on their phones in the dressing room, if they ask. I don't beat them up like Sabu would have 20 years ago. I take the photos because it's changed, but I don't think that was in the last 5 or 10 years. I don't think it was, even the last 20 years. You know what I mean? So I think it's been that way for quite a while. Ever since everyone wanted to break kayfabe and start talking about all of the planning that they put into their efforts for the night, and then they deal with the consequences of that. So I think it's those kind of people who, ever since they've been doing that, it's been the marks in the dressing room.
Oh, yeah, interesting. Yeah. Jay, do you feel the same way too?
Well, let me ask you this before I forget. How is it in AEW? Like, is it the same? Like, is everybody seem not like well rested and all that? Is it as organized? I just want to know, because man, I'm curious as hell, because I heard some shit like that Tony Khan spent $500,000 on Daniel Bryan's music.
I believe that.
That can't be true. Every time he plays, that can't be true.
Every time. Oh, I don't know. Yeah,
that's just insane. But is it just because I see things on the internet and is it like he's just spending crazy money because they're showing like empty houses and shit like that? You know what I mean? And I don't know what's going on. This is just what I see on Instagram and shit like that, But they're showing like empty houses at tapings and I'm hearing that he just spends crazy amounts of money. What's it like over there?
Yeah, they got some haters posting on Instagram. It's entertaining, some of the stuff that they put on there, and all the botches. And they always say we're only the best wrestlers on the show with bots. And but I haven't been there first off since April. So maybe the houses were different then. But from my experience, Tony is just a really nice guy. He's happy to be there. He comes across like a friend, like he's genuine, like he's really, really appreciative. He'll like take his time and don't walk away. You got he'll like he doesn't say don't walk away, but I mean, but it's like, hold on, I got a list of things I'm going to tell you. He comes across like that because he'd be like, Rob, that was awesome. You were awesome. The match was great. The people loved you. Thank you so much for coming in here. Almost like he's going through like to make sure to cover everything, and it's really cool. It's a really an appreciative thing to go through. I feel like the boys there seem to have so much control and a desire to take the product in a different direction. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's what they're going to get judged by a lot, is whether that kind of product is inferior, and if the other kind of product, more mainstream, is superior. And it really has always been that way in the past. I say that myself, being kind of a wrestler with a niche following, being because ECW, because hardcore, because I'm the whole effing show, because of all that, people love me, but I'm not in that position like we're Cena, like the mainstream, like everybody loves them, kids love them, I love them, So it's when you are a specialty item or have specialty talents, you're going to get a little bit more of a niche, however big that niche you can get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's interesting. Jay, what do you feel about the AEW product when you see it, just from a presentation standpoint and everything?
I'm going to be honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing's caught me.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's drew me in. You know what I'm saying? But all I see is like highlights. Like I check out I check out like things on YouTube where they show highlights and explain what's going on or whatever. Keep you updated. But nothing's ever really drawn me in. It's probably me though. You got to understand that I don't really watch a lot of modern wrestling. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying they're doing something wrong. It's me. I just don't really pay attention to it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I don't. It's so much that there's so much out there. Okay, like when I learned GCW was touring nationally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And basically, you don't really need TV anymore. Okay, you just need to stream, and the internet. Everybody that wants to see it can see it. Right. Once that became the way, and it wasn't about who had TV as much, independence just blew up everywhere. You know what I mean? At first it was PWG in California or whatever. You know what I mean? And then it's But anyway, you got GCW, you got MLW. You know what I mean? There's so many places people can work and still wrestle nationally.
But nobody's gonna keep him out on the road like JCW.
Yeah,
you guys are fucking killing it, fucking stringing.
Well, but there's at least 2 shows every weekend. These companies, they're killing it. That's more than we do. You know what I mean? We do little runs here and there, but man, there's so many companies now. There's so much work for people. You know what I mean? And it's all being filmed and it's shown anywhere if you're looking for it. You know what I mean? And it's just it's a whole different market than when we used to run JCW. And we've always ran JCW on and off. We'd be trying to record another album, so we tuck it to the back. You know what I mean? And but I look at wrestling today, man. And it's first of all, it's too much for me to take it all in. You know what I mean? That's why I don't really. One of the reasons I don't think I watch modern wrestling. And by the way, NWA is out there too. You know what I mean? Billy Corgan's thing.
I forget about that. Yeah, I don't think I caught. I don't know where the show airs, but I haven't seen it.
But man, they're touring too. They're everywhere. And it's just there's so many places that are thriving now. You know what I mean? That even ICW runs every weekend. And they don't have ropes, they have a chain. You know what I mean? They have 3 chains in the ring post, and it's all death matches. But these guys are touring. You know what I'm saying? This company, you know, and yeah, everybody's doing it, man. And I think it's great, man. And more than the fan, I find myself today, like watching the shows and what everybody's doing and everything. I'm like, right when I went to Billy Corgan's NWA, that's what really got me pumped up again. Because I looked at his operation and I was like, I kept telling myself, we've been doing this, man. We've been doing this. We've been doing this. Like, I'm here and I'm happy to be here, but JCW has been doing this. You know what I mean? For 25 years, man. We've been live streaming. Man, you know what my favorite thing to do is? At night, I lay on this couch and I go on YouTube and I watch some old JCW show that we live streamed on the internet that I have no memory of. It's like I'm watching it for the first fucking time. It's mind blowing. I have no memory of it. And like okay, like one time I was watching PG-13 in the ring, right? And I'm like, when did we have PG-13? I'm not even a fan of PG-13, really. Why would I bring PG-13 in, you know? And I'm watching this, and then all of a sudden I come out to the ring. You know what I mean? And I start bumping them, and I have no memory of this. You know what I'm saying? And then Bobby Lashley. I'm looking at Bobby Lashley and JCW. I would have never thought we ever used Bobby Lashley. I had no fucking idea. And I'm sitting there watching this shit, and I have no idea who's going to come out next. You know what I mean? We've been running shows so long and doing this. And when I got to NWA, I'm looking at Billy Corgan's setup, and I'm like, man, this is what we do. This is what we do. You know what I mean? And his promotion is so respected. It's got the rankings in Pro Wrestling Illustrated. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's what I grew up on. You know what I'm saying? If you had your rankings in the Pro Wrestling Illustrated, you were a real promotion. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, man, JCW's been killing it. Why don't we get respect like that? We've been around all these years. Even when we were totally inactive, we still ran at least 5 shows that year. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That was us at our least active, you know? So I went there. Then I went to MLW, right? And I watched their operation. And I did a thing with them. And I watched what they're doing, and I watched them filming the pre-tapes that they run between matches and shit. And I'm like, I'm peeping all that. I'm like, all right. Then I went to GCW, and me and Brett became friends. Mm-hmm. Brett Lauderdale. Yeah. And he's teaching me and talking to me and telling me things. You know what I mean? He's such a big help, man. I love that guy. And I just wish I could repay the favor to him somehow. You know what I'm saying? He's been so helpful. But I fucking see what they're doing, you know what I mean? And I'm like, man, I can do this. So I just got fired up, and I decided to bring JCW. We launched a whole new thing with a show called The Awakening. And then from there, we started our new show, Lunacy. And we've been going ever since, you know, for like probably a year now, at least, really knocking shit out. You know what I mean?
Heck yeah. And it's good stuff. Yeah, the product. And I was texting Rob before we got on here. I was like, dude, I fucking love the intro to JCW Lunacy. It's like good shit. It's like old school, but it creates its own unique vibe for today's, you know, wrestling viewing audience. You guys that, you know? We
do all that, man. We got the pre-tapes between the matches. You know, we film that shit during the day. And then we just did a show yesterday. I was telling you, Don.
Yeah.
Before we went live. We just did a show yesterday, man, and we filmed 2 episodes of our show Lunacy at this event. You know, first thing we had to do was hide all the Christmas shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when we went to go do the wrestling, we had to move all the Christmas shit out. You know what I mean? And put the Lunacy banners over it all. You know what I mean? And like I was telling you, we had 2,400 people in there. That bitch was packed, and it was standing room. And we had to stick that ring in the middle and tell everybody, move back. You know what I'm saying? And one of the barricades was busting in. It looks great for wrestling. You know what I'm saying? It looks great. It looks like we're killing it. But it's actually an ICP concert happening as well. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But, man, it looks great on TV. You know what I'm saying? And we don't always run only with...
I like the graffiti.
Graffiti our own shows now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's our thing, you know? And we have ran our own tours many times over the years. We ran our own JCW tours from New York to LA, and we would have names on it. We'd be doing all that shit, and there wouldn't be a blip about us in the Wrestling Observer. Nothing. You know what I mean? We just didn't count. It was the same as music. We're not rap. We're not rock. We're not accepted either one of them. You know, it was the same thing in wrestling. Didn't matter what we were doing. We just weren't written about. You know what I mean? We were like ignored, you know. But we're fighting all that now. And we just want people to see the product because it's not all juggalo. You don't have to be a fucking juggalo to like the product. That's the farthest thing we're doing. You know what I mean? This is for wrestling fans. We're showing how well juggalos can run a wrestling promotion. But it's not all things juggalos. Not every fucking storyline is about juggalos and shit. It's nothing like that, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, it's definitely, no, you get the wrestling vibe. You get the different wrestling vibe for it. And that's what.
Yeah, man, I love doing this. It's a lot of fun, man. It really, really, really a lot of fun. And like I was telling you guys, going back and looking at our history over the years and all the shows we ran, that's been a lot of fun too lately, man. You know, we've been putting little clips out on our Instagram and shit of stuff back in the day. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's been a long ride. It's been a long ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Rob, what Jay was saying too, I thought was kind of interesting. Do you sometimes go back and like you watch like you see some of your matches? It might be like super popular match with fans, but you're like, dude, I don't remember any of this. Like, does it kind of hit you and stuff like that? And when you go back and see some of your older matches, Rob, like that?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Of course, yeah. Not. I mean, it's. I remember more than I don't, but every once in a while, absolutely, I won't remember, or I'll even see it on Twitter because I usually repost when I see someone will post highlights from a match. Sometimes I'll be a tag. There was a tag match on there last week. I did not recall doing it at all, but
yeah,
who was there? I can't remember who was in it, but I didn't remember doing the match, but apparently I did. Yeah,
I know you guys.
Did you ever see a match you have no memory of having?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know memory of it. I can't answer that one.
But is there like something where they're like, you wrestled this person and you're like, I really don't remember that because there's people you don't wrestle.
Or a guy telling you he worked you and you're like, no, you didn't.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. I mean, it's not often, but every once in a while that happens. Little Guido, I didn't believe him for the longest time. He told me that he wrestled me down in Florida way before ECW. And I was like, dude, you're fucking crazy. Like, I never met you down there. He said, no, we had a match. It was on TV. And he goes, and that's me, but I was James Nassetti or whatever. That's my James. That's my other Italian friend. James. Was
he Meritato?
Yeah, Meritato. And he said that's what he wrestled under. No recollection of it. I always told me it was full of shit. And then I saw the match, and it didn't look like Little Guido at all. He was like 230 pounds or something.
Shit.
Different, complete different body, different hair. You know, he used to fight in this shoot group. I think it was UWF in Japan.
PWI, is that what it was called or something?
It could have been. I don't know, I guess. But he was, I guess that's what it looked like when he was doing it because it was around that time. This was 91. This was, or just barely 92. And so there's one example. I always thought I have a memory of a match that didn't happen too, because I've only been to Korea one time, and the way that I've always remembered it was like me wrestling X-Pac, like in a singles match. And every time over the years, like it's come up a few times, and he always says he's never been to Korea. So I'm always like, damn it. Might have been Scotty Too Hotty. He's the number one suspect. That would in that match. But anyway, that shit happens sometimes. I remember you being in my barn in Penfield when I had the ring in the barn in the backyard of that house.
Yep. I think came out there with Mike Kelly and all them.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think you came out by yourself too, without them though.
Yeah. And do you remember when? And I was asking you this on the phone the other day. Do you remember when, or a couple of weeks ago? Do you remember when down in North Carolina you had a match against the Maestro, that guy with the white hair?
Where was it at?
It was down in North Carolina. You were doing an independent show and you were wrestling against the Maestro. Earlier that day, there was like a fucking a Radio Shack or something that you guys were all signing autographs out of. There was like 6 wrestlers signing autographs at like a Radio Shack or something, or a furniture store or some shit. I don't remember. But anyway, that night Joey managed you, Shaggy.
Oh,
he managed you, and I was asking if you remember that, and you said no when we were talking the other day. But it was he had this funny ass gimmick, and he was managing you, and I was just sitting in the bleachers watching. You know what I'm saying? And it was so dope, man. You were working the Maestro, and you guys had a great match, man.
I think he was also maybe Gorgeous George III, same guy. Do you know?
Say it again.
I think he was, maybe Maestro might have been Gorgeous George III.
Yes, that's what he was.
Okay.
He looked like Gorgeous George. Yeah, he did.
I kind of remember that, you know. I kind of remember it now.
Yeah, man, that was a shit to us, man. We were geeked as hell, Joey. Got to manage you. That was fun, man. And you remember when we did the ECW thing?
Yeah, you kicked me in the fucking ear and ruined my music career, bro. I still have to read your lips right now. I just didn't want to. I was used to it.
You crushed his dreams.
You guys took care of us, man. I remember Sabu. You guys took care of us. I was always scared to death of Sabu. He didn't used to talk to me back then. He never talked to me for the longest time. Yes. And then when we finally started talking, we became cool as fuck. Sabu would come on the tour with us. He came on like 4 tours with us.
Damn.
And he would just stab 2 liters, and he'd be up on stage in the Sabu gear, just stabbing 2 liters and squirting it out of the crowd. He'd be moonsaulting off the speaker stacks. He'd be crowd surfing with the glitter pants on, you know, every night on tour. He must have came on 4 or 5 tours with us.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we became super cool. And every time we needed him to wrestle, I'd be like, what's up with the homie price? every time I call him now, he's like, I know homie price.
No, right. That's awesome. Sabu's man.
Yeah, he's funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's always everything is a shoot with him. So that's how I train, you know. Like if you ask him, hey, how do you throw a chair at someone? He'd be like this. You know, that was just all right, that makes sense. I understood right away.
Yeah,
I got a question for you guys. What's up with the drones, man?
Yeah, we didn't talk about that, Rob. The drones and stuff.
I'm really not that up on it. I just know some drones were seen that looked suspicious. So they couldn't. People are, you know, talking about them, but I really don't know the details.
Yeah. Plasma orbs in the sky, filmed like by news channels. Plasma orbs, moving around crazy fucking ways, and they don't know if the drones are there to monitor the orbs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
because all these orbs are everywhere, you know? And yeah, man, who knows though with AI nowadays, you know what I'm saying? You can't believe anything. If Jesus Christ himself came back and walked on water and you know, over the water to the Statue of Liberty in front of a press conference, over the water, everybody be like, "Oh, that's fake." You know what I'm saying? Because you can't believe anything you see anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, your eyes. Yeah, it's like, what the hell?
They could have me fucking a giraffe, and it would be my face and my body fucking a giraffe.
I've seen that.
Fucking drive, you know what I'm saying? And there's that crystal clear footage of it, you know? That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh man, listen to this, guys. Okay. So we started getting flagged on YouTube for using certain music, right? So
Yeah.
we're like, fuck, man. We even get flagged for using our own music. There's like a whole process you have to go through, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But so we go to the computer, right?
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God, this is all I put in. I put 90s boy band. And then I wrote lyrics. I just wrote like a poem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're number one and standing tall, and we're here and we'll never fall. You know, just shit like that, right? Just writing shit that rhymed, you know?
Yeah.
And I hit go, and it made a song in about 30 seconds. It spit out a boy band doing the song I just wrote. You know what I'm saying? And it's dope. It's dope. It's
That's
a
the
dope
exact same
fucking
thing
song.
he did.
That's crazy. Who did it?
This AI or whatever wrote, it spit out a song. And then I hit again and it spit out another song. I could do it all day long. It would spit out another song until you get the one you like, you know?
Wow.
It's unfucking real. It's unreal. It makes a song in 30 seconds, and there's no reason to hire anybody to do a jingle. There's no reason to hire anybody to make the music to the intro of your YouTube show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all right there in AI. You know what I'm saying? It's unfucking real. Then we needed the music for the Southern Six. So I put old country, deep voice,
This
slow.
is the exact same thing you did.
Right? Old country, deep voice, slow. And for the lyrics, I just put the Southern Six, 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 bunch of times, and hit go. And it spit out the dopest music for the Southern Six. Every time that music comes on, everybody sings Southern Six, Southern Six. The whole crowd sings it. You can hear it's softly being sang.
Wow. Rob, you did that too? You type stuff like that in?
Well, just give it like 3 or 4 details. Yeah, I really don't know that much about using it. I need to learn how to use it. So I just said do a song about Katie Forbes wanting to retire from pro wrestling to become a country singer or something like that, you know, and then boom, it gives you, and then it spits out like the whole thing. And it's very detailed, and it's crazy everything that it includes. But you know, you can get it to draw for you, you can get it to write scripts for you,
Design tattoos.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But I don't know how to do that. I need an AI class.
Anything's unreal, man. I mean, I feel so dumb as a musician when it just spits out a song that's dope. It's actually really dope, really creative. You know what I mean? It wasn't even made by a human.
Yeah, that's wild. Oh my god, that's so wild. It freaks me out.
You can use it, Joe. You know how to use the artificial
intelligence? No, I go to my studio guy, and we were doing them together. I was just telling him what to write in there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know how to do it myself. I don't know how to do shit myself.
Yeah, I haven't messed with AI
in the studio and shit. I need somebody to help me mostly. You know what I mean?
I can't even use my cell phone. I gotta go to technical help.
Best Buy. Best Buy.
Yeah. I'm the tech girl.
You're the tech girl?
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, we got some super chats in here. Let's see here. Snide Whip thanks for the $10. He said, old head juggalo since 5th grade. Joe, what's the best way to submit for a writing or artist job? I was recently scammed online by fake ICP, motivated me to try and turn that experience into a win. How would you recommend somebody gets kind of like their stuff out there to like somebody that's credible and stuff nowadays?
For writing?
For writing, I guess he's asking. Writing.
I would have no fucking idea.
Yeah, writing or artist job.
I tell you what, as an artist, YouTube is all you need now. You don't even need a record label. The record label is totally obsolete now. You can set your own shit up with iTunes and all those streaming platforms. You don't need to press up any product no more. You know what I mean? And you go to YouTube. And if your video is catchy enough that people are showing other people and shit, viral is the equivalent of a hit when it comes to music. So if your video goes viral, you know, or your song goes viral, that's the equivalent of a hit, you know?
Yeah.
And fuck yeah, man. YouTube is my advice for everything. That's the windows to the world. You know what I'm saying? YouTube is so much opportunity, man. Look at all the YouTube celebrities and shit there are now, you know?
Right.
It's insane. Like when I grew up, there was sports, politics, music, and acting, right?
Yeah.
Now there's way many more ways to be a celebrity, you know what I'm saying? And be successful, you know, than just those regular old 5 that I grew up with, you know what I mean?
I know. It's crazy. Like you could just be a YouTube influencer talking, unboxing stuff like we do on here, and you become a celebrity doing that shit.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
I'm saying, man, real genuine celebrities too. You know what I mean?
They got some boobies.
That's it. That helps too.
Yeah.
The boobies always help.
Or anything about you that stands out.
Yeah. It could just be a little bit of personality, whatever. Like if you can connect with somebody in that regard, that's
except maybe like a space between your teeth, like that would stand out and maybe not really be conducive to getting a job necessarily.
But it makes you relatable.
Okay.
People can
do. People with gaps in their teeth.
I got a gap in my teeth.
Shit, that's the answer.
Hey, Rob.
That's your people.
How did you hook up with Only Wrestlers?
Yeah, tell us that way.
Okay, cool. By the way, did you tell? He probably didn't, but you talked to Tom, right?
I talked to him.
He knows Chris Adams. That's why I'm like, when you said you were trained by Chris Adams, I was like, wait, I wonder if Tom knows that. And I was like, oh, it was bullshit. Okay, so it didn't happen. But all right, so Tom and his partners were running shows, and Katie was wrestling for them under the banner of UWW.
Ultimate Women Wrestling.
Yeah, so it was like all women's shows. And I had gone to a show or two to the Katie was at, you know, and we always end up talking and they picking my brain a little bit and, you know, trying to get me involved or whatever. And then they ended up you know, calling an actual meetings, and they wanted to, you know, so sit down and they asked me if you were gonna run a wrestling promotion or show, what would you do that's different that's not being done? And you know, I have run shows, you know, way back in the day with in the Georgia and the Carolinas and stuff in 90. I mean, my partner Greg Price did most of the work, but 92, 93, 94. Anyway, I said, well, I always had this idea. I had several ideas, you know, but I said there's something little fair, I think. I said I always had an idea. I would update it now, but I had this idea years ago. Way back when I was on ECW, I had this idea where I thought it would be cool if there was a wrestling show where you had the lineup and the fans actually voted on who wrestles who. And in my mind, it would take a certain caliber of wrestler that could go without needing all day to prepare, because they would find out like at the beginning of the show or maybe one match ahead of time or whatever. There'd be a reporter that would go around and say, well, Kid Cash, you look like you're ready for anything tonight. Are you ready to find out who the people voted for? And then Kid Cash would say, I guess, man. I mean, it really don't matter whoever it is. I mean, I kind of hope it's RVD. I like working with him, but yeah, what they say, and then hey, you got New Jack. Oh shit! And then go over there, New Jack, and New Jack. I don't know if you've heard the news, but the vote is in. Shit, I don't care, man. Who I got, man? Whoever it is, I know I'm gonna fuck them up. That's what I know. And then they'd be like, you got Kid Cass. Shit, I got just the blade for Kid Cass. And then like boom, you go out there and you do it all, and you have the matches, and I seen like I was even in one in WWE since then. I was gonna say I've seen that. I know they did Taboo Tuesday or something where it was partially like that. Yeah. Was it a shoot? Was it a work? I don't know, but I was part of a vote one time on WWE where I already wrestled. And then, and so I looked at it as working twice. I was not happy about it, but I wrestled earlier in the card. And then I was in a vote. Who did the people want to see? I think it was Challenge Alberto Del Rio first belt, I think. But I know it was between me and Kofi and Zack Ryder.
Oh.
And I knew I was going to get it because I'm RVD. And those guys weren't. They were still coming up, back then on the hierarchy, and I kept going by both of them, and during the hour because they kept plugging it, and I'd say, "Man, I think you got this, Zach. You can do this, bro. I'm praying for you, dude." Because I really didn't want to work twice. He would say the same thing back, and he'd say, "No, man, I think it's going to be you, man. And it was me, and I had to work twice. But anyway, that's what started the talks with this, Mm-hmm. And then when we started talking about actually, okay, like boom, when we run a show, if people are going to belong to the voting association, then if it's membership based, they got to know how often they have the show. So we started thinking we got to do like a show. Then every 30 days, we got to do a show so that they know every time, their vote's going to count to this and boom. And while we're working it out, we decided to scale back and we said, you know what, let's take a minute first and gather the association. And so what we have is a platform where it does everything. If you've heard of OnlyFans, that one, people think of that as being sexual because a lot of people do use it for that, but they also do other stuff on there too. So I'm told. Yeah, I don't look at it, but
yeah, you can do anything on there.
Anything.
Working out, it's not all.
Yeah, so our idea was to take take a website that can do everything they can, and then a ton of other things like the referrals from wrestler to wrestler or from fan to fan. But basically, it's a platform where fans can follow the wrestlers, keep up with them, and this is just here for any wrestlers that want to use it. A lot of wrestlers use Patreon or whatever. This is something you could use too. We got a community and we have an agenda that the followers will be voting. We'll be talking about putting shows together real soon. Yeah. We just started opening up like in October, so we're pretty new. We got the first vote on the homepage right now, and to test the whole thing out. But as we go on and the association grows, then the voting power will grow. It'll be a bigger vote that's going to move us in a certain direction. But it keeps, man, I use like mine, by the way, Katie and I are free to follow because, we're in the administration. OW is also free, always will be free. But I like to use it for an inner circle of people. when I'm at the doctor's office, I'm in there sharing with those people and that's not stuff that I would put out on Instagram. And anyway, by the way, my store is open. If you go look at the profile, we all have stores on there. Boom, just started stocking mine up with stuff. So check that out. I use the story. So like throughout the dates, I like to take the followers with me and just like, boom, hey, I'm having a good day. How are you? And then later on, boom, had a great workout. Sometimes, just a collaboration of little videos throughout the day, but I answer all the messages. So far, everyone has messaged me on all the wrestlers is able to get a respond back. So, and there's more stuff that I want to do with it, but I got to first figure out how to do it before I start talking about it. But it's really cool, and everyone's going to want to take part in this too. But what about you, Mr. Joe? You were pretty excited about the platform as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, man, I have fun putting stuff on there, man. I try to put fun stuff and try to put stuff that I think would be cool to see. You know what I mean? I got my account on there, and JCW has an account on there. I know the Backseat Boys got an account on there, and I was just talking to all the wrestlers yesterday at the show about it, and the way Tom was explaining it to me is like, if you have an account on the show, on the platform, then you're eligible to be voted onto a show. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
understood that, meaning for the wrestlers, you know what I'm saying? And so when I understood that, because I didn't understand how the voting was going to work, like I didn't understand like who would be eligible. But now I get it. Like if you have a platform on if you have an account on Only Wrestlers, you can be eligible for a match. I would think that the matches would have to be decided, a month before the actual event or something, though, so that those guys could be booked. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, the only other option would be to get the whole roster to be there at the show waiting for. You get what I'm saying? So they might have to be.
But just to
you get what I'm saying?
Just to help add something to that, so you understand it more, don't think along the lines of vote on who all you want on your card. Think more like hey, boom, it's John Hennigan versus Chris Masters. We're gonna have you vote on what kind of match should it be? Should it be a ladder match or should it be a whatever match? So think, like the bigger it gets, then the bigger the vote gets. But it'll be a while until they have that kind of leverage to actually be bringing everybody on the card. And then we'll probably start with one match where you're going to vote on on this spot or whatever, and we're going to go to what town you want us to come to. But at first, think along the lines more of like, okay, out of these 6 guys, who do you want to see wrestle who? Like stuff like that.
That's what's cool, because Tom was telling me that the first vote that's going down is the name of the men's heavyweight title, the main title. You know what I mean? And so he said, you want to see the selections? And I said, yeah. I'm thinking it's going to be like 3, but he sent me like 15 different names. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was dope. You know what I mean? Because if you're a fan and you're voting on the name of the world title for this promotion, you know what I mean? You should have a lot of selections. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a big choice. You get what I'm saying? So I thought that was cool. And he said that's the first thing they're doing is naming the men's world title with the vote. You know what I mean? And I was like, cool. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm understanding everything now. Yeah, it's cool. It seems like it'd be fun. You know what I mean? Very much. And I like to throw cool footage on there. Like the other day I posted something that, man, I almost start welling up and fucking crying on that bitch. Because I was in my man cave downstairs, and I was looking at these this package my mom had sent left for me, and I'm flipping through it, and it has some of the old programs from my backyard promotion, right?
Whoa.
Which was called NAW, National All-Star Wrestling, right? And I had the programs down there, and I realized as I'm flipping through reading the programs that, first of all, this shit was written by a 12-year-old, you know what I'm saying? 13-year-old, you know. Second of all, I've been doing this my whole life. Like, I was promoting then in the backyard when I was 13. You know what I'm saying? I was doing the same shit. I'm reading the shit I'm writing, and it was all handwritten, you know, in the programs that we would hand out to the kids that came to the shows, you know what I mean? And anyway, I was showing them programs on the Only Wrestlers, showing them those old programs, and then it hit me that I'd been doing this shit since I was 13. I'm still doing it. I'm still writing for JCW. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I've been doing it my whole life, and it just like sort of takes anxiety away, you know? But anyway, that shit hit me. And then we were watching, I also put a clip up yesterday or the day before yesterday. A bunch of the JCW wrestlers were in my living room, and we were watching Willie Mack wrestle for Ring of Honor at that show at the Hammerstein. And Willie Mack's our world champion, you know what I mean? So I showed this footage of all these JCW guys sitting around watching Willie Mack wrestle in ROH, you know, because we had just seen him the night before at our show in Detroit, you know. And then we were going to see him again the next night in Columbus, which was yesterday. Yeah. So he dipped out between those two shows, and everybody was staying at my house, and we're all watching it, and I filmed it for the Only Wrestlers. And I thought that was a cool moment too, you know. And everybody's rocking their JCW tracksuits, which all the wrestlers bought their own tracksuit, and they all chipped in to buy me one. I didn't even know they were doing that. And so we all had our new JCW tracksuits on. You know what I mean? This is dope. You know?
Classy.
Yeah, it's just we're like really close with each other over there, man. And everybody there really believes in the product, you know, and they believe in they're, you know, they're grateful and they're hardworking, man. You know what I mean? Good guys, man. But yeah, and I'm capturing it all on that Only Wrestlers, you know, and trying to provide something dope. If somebody's paying whatever it is for my account, I want to give them freshness. And the only way I know how to do that is by thinking what I would think was fresh if I was watching it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to provide.
Well, that's good content though. Like, yeah, showing old cards that you did when you were backyard wrestling, and then having the JCW crew with you. That's like unique content. Like Rob has been saying, like what you can do whatever on there on the Only Wrestling.
Yeah, whatever you want, you put whatever you want on there. You know what I mean? I had Tarzan Duran singing a song on the fucking with a guitar on the JCW one. You know, on the JCW account. We had all kinds of stuff like that. We also, the Backseat Boys had a match in Detroit for our independent promotion. And I went out with them ringside and I filmed the whole thing from the time we get introduced down the ramp, all the way around the whole match and back up the ramp. And I put it all on my Only Wrestlers.
Hell yeah.
I literally had the phone in my hand the entire time I'm out there. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm taking you motherfuckers with me. I'm taking you with me. Get ready. We're going out there. Then they announce us out there. We go out there. It's cool, man.
Yeah. It's a sneak peek behind the curtain. Hey, did those guys tell you about when I smoked in his truck?
But what?
The Backseat Boys. Did they tell you about when I smoked in brother's truck? Because I smoked weed in his truck, and he's meticulous about keeping it clean. And
no, they didn't say that. They love you, man. They love you, bro.
Yeah, good guys. I thought they would have shared that story because it was they used to bring it up all the time. It was a big deal. Nobody was allowed to smoke, but I did.
You did.
I'm always the exception.
You got it in there.
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, go ahead. No.
I was just gonna say we got at the gathering this year, we're gonna be doing JCW versus GCW, 2-day war. You know, and I'm really excited about that because the way I want to do it is this. So the ring's in the center, right?
Mm-hmm.
And right down the side of the ring, like from one turnbuckle across to the other, right diagonally, half the apron is going to say GCW, the other half is going to say JCW, right?
Yeah.
Above the ring is going to be a digital scoreboard, straight up. It's going to say JCW, have a line and then a 0, and then across it, versus across will be GCW, a line and then a 0, and whoever wins the first match, it just go 1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It'll be 9 matches. There has to be a winner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to have 2 entrances. Their entrance on this side and our entrance on this side. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
And the first match uses their ring announcer and our referee. The next match uses their referee and our ring announcer. See what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And we switch back and forth like that. So everything is 50-50 and even, you know, the playing field. And and 2-day war, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When is that?
That's August, I believe, 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds like a long
in
time away.
Thornville, Ohio.
Yeah.
It's gonna be dope.
A year from there.
Yeah.
We're going to war. And the day before that, we also have a lunacy taping that we're doing the night before the gathering opens. There's so many juggalos out there looking for shit to do, and they're partying in the street and everything. There's this bar down the street, and we have a free JCW show there, you know. And so all these kids come and watch that. And we're going to film it this year for another episode of Lunacy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fucking right. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool to show the inside of the gathering on those Lunacy episodes, because it's so much different. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Than how it looks on everything we've released so far. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Man, that's fantastic.
Man, you guys are the shit for letting me come on here and explain what we're doing and shit, man. That means a lot. You know what I mean? I appreciate it, man. We're working hard, and I'm proud of everything we're doing, man. You know, and it's cool to be able to talk about it. I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. And you're doing great work. It's like I said, it stands out in today's wide realm of wrestling, where there's like so much availability, accessibility to watch stuff. It's like JCW got its own look. I encourage, the link is down below too in the YouTube comments. So if you guys want to check it out, the link is there to go check out JCW Lunacy on the YouTube channel. So
the commentary is the best. That's
it's so good. I was cracking up like just listening to some of the shit being said.
Yeah.
It's funny, man. It's funny stuff. We got some super chats in here to take. Frankie, he asks, Rob, did you know Vampiro back in the day? He said, I know he tried to get into ECW. Also, did you prefer to wrestle Lance Storm or Too Cold Scorpio?
Okay. Vampiro. I've crossed paths with him, but didn't know him well. Knew the other guy more, the guy that became the wore the mask, and him and Tom Nash and David Heath. They were
Gangrel, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Knew him, Mark, about several tours with him and overseas in Europe, and damn, trying to think of but that's not even my story to tell, so I guess I won't do that. I have a good Vampiro story. When he was I guess dating Melissa, what's the Maluna Vachon, right?
Oh, yeah.
He didn't marry her.
I think they dated. I don't know if they married. They might have been married. That's a good question.
Anyway. the other guy. Anyway, oh wait, no, I got no, there's two different blind guys in my mind because Gangrel, and then the other guy that's a Blackheart, didn't he? The Blackhearts.
Yeah, Nash.
That guy. I was thinking, but him and Gangrel were together. Is that what it was?
Yeah, they were the Blackhearts together. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They were the,
So, I guess I know both those guys. But anyway, I guess depends on when in my no, it doesn't depend on when. I would nothing against Lance Storm, but if I got to pick, I would rather wrestle Scorpio just because I know we'd be like burning a doobie in the parking lot before the match, getting ready, and I like to do that, and so does Scorpio.
Yeah.
And Lance doesn't.
Lance isn't about that.
No. Lance just says no.
Man, one time me and Joey flew to Guadalajara to see Vampiro, and I'm gonna tell you guys something. He was like Hulk Hogan over there.
Yo,
he was like Hulk Hogan famous, flat out.
Wow.
Everywhere we went, he was getting mobbed. Man, I was driving down the street with him, and there was an actress on a billboard, and he was like, I fucked her. You know what I'm saying? And then we're coming through, and there's a park next to where we're driving, and there's like a swing set, and on the roof of the top of the swing set were these 4 iron wrestler heads. You know what I mean? It was 3 guys in a mask, and then Vampiro on the top of the swing set.
Holy
you know
shit.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he was like Hulk Hogan over there, flat out. I thought that was cool as hell.
Wow.
We went to an independent. I mean, we went to a weekly wrestling show they had down there, and every wrestler coming out was either jaw jacking with Vamp or paying homage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was so dope.
Man, trying to get that rub and stuff. Yeah, I heard he was super popular in Mexico and stuff. Somebody
I got to go. I got to do Triple Mania this year, man.
Oh,
I got to come and be ringside for Mecha Wolf.
Whoa, no shit.
Yeah, man. I got to get in there and fucking kiss that canvas, man. I've been kissing all the canvases of the of all these promotions that I've been going to. You know what I'm saying? Like to be able to say I've been there, and I've been to AAA, and I'm so happy, man. I was like, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Is that one step lower than kissing someone's foot in the ring?
I know. That's what everybody says.
Let's see here. So speaking of Hulk Hogan, somebody just paid $2 to say they love Hulk Hogan's D. So there we go. Thanks for the $2. Somebody, Jay wants to know. Ask Joe if he hates the cheese balls at gatherings. JCW is worse than water bottles being thrown. You hate cheese balls. Do people throw cheese balls, Joe?
I'm not familiar with this cheese ball thing they're talking about, but
yeah,
throwing things I most definitely am familiar with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at the gathering, they don't really throw things at the ring no more, because when they do, everybody chants, "Don't throw shit, don't throw shit," because it gets the ring all wet and shit. You know what I mean? And it makes the match like it ain't gonna be as good. You know what I'm saying? The ropes are all wet and shit. So, so they kind of don't throw it at them, but at the concerts, there's constantly shit flying up, and
literally,
we had Ric Flair one year hosting the stage, and he introduced maybe three bands. There's 7 all together. He introduced, maybe when he went out there his 3rd time, somebody threw a fucking big ass pop. It didn't hit him, but it came close. He was like, he saw that shit. He was like, "Thank you very much." He just put the microphone on. You know what I mean? And we were just like, thank you for coming. You know, we didn't try to stop him or nothing, you know. But he saw that shit flying. It was getting too close to him. You know what I mean? Yeah, they throw shit, but they're not throwing shit at you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's some rappers, they don't understand it. They'll be like, hold on. Anybody throws another motherfucking thing, I'm coming out there and beating your ass. You can't say that at the gathering. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They are not having that. You are doomed the minute you go that route, you know? And that's why so many rappers have been booed off at the gathering. You know what I'm saying? Famous people, you know what I mean? And but other artists are the shit. Like Yellow Wolf was up there and a big gulp came flying and he just caught it and drank it. You know what I mean? And everybody loved that shit. You know what I mean? They love when you're not a punk about it. You know what I'm saying? Right, when you're enjoying the good time, you know, they're just throwing shit. If you look out at the crowd, you will see shit flying above them too. You know what I'm saying? They're not just throwing it at the stage. There's shit flying everywhere. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's like it's how these artists react to it. That's why the gathering is known for people getting shit thrown at them.
Yeah. Rob, how did it feel when you got shit thrown at you during wrestling matches? Like, were you happy because you get beat, or was it more like it's annoying?
Well, let me give you the yin and the yang of it.
Ooh.
If I'm in Japan and they say Lobo Bandamo, and then all these ribbons come, that's a compliment. You know, they're throwing ribbons in the ring because they like you. So you're like, cool, man. They, you know, more, give me more. And then they go, you know, you hope to get more than the other guy. But if I'm in ECW and they don't like that me and Sabu are about to put their favorite through a table, so they all throw their chairs into the ring at us. That's kind of a little scary because you could just get caught the wrong way pretty easy. Sabu got hit in the back of the head. As soon as he turned around, bam, right in the face. And we just got out of there or hid under the ring.
Yeah.
The worst, they weren't really throwing it at me, but they were throwing it at the match, at the situation. That was when I had to drop the world championship in Philadelphia because of the marijuana bust. And and that was the WWE day. And then the next day was the ECW day. So I was in Philly coming back, big return, made it. I got the championship belt and then fucked up. Got that high publicized possession charge. And then, you know, after like Big Show pinned me and Paul did the 1, 2, 3, man, like what? I started getting wet because like they were throwing drinks and shit. And I was like, it was really emotional for me anyway, because I felt horrible about the situation. Yeah. And then I felt like I let everybody down. And then now all the, you know, popcorn, cardboard crinkled up and cups and everything just started melting the ring. And it made me feel worse. It just made me feel like, oh, such a boo. It was like such a negative energy moment. And it was all, you know, my fault, prospectively.
Yeah. Man, it was their fault. I mean, look at the world today, man. Come on. That wasn't, it was bullshit, man. What happened to you?
I was ahead of my time, and that's illegal to be ahead of your time, unfortunately.
Yeah, right.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You're ahead of your time. It's like everybody knows that it's nothing. If you know, the law can be fucked up sometimes, man. You know what I mean?
I know the same 18 grams in Hanging Rock, Ohio, right now isn't gonna get you in any kind of trouble, but and I didn't feel bad about it, really, except for that I let everybody down in the wrestling world. I didn't feel like, oh no, I should go to rehab and clean my image up. I was like, it's just pot. And I'd gotten busted so many times before that. It just never made the public news.
Yeah.
So I was telling Sabu, dude, don't worry about it. This happens all the fucking time to me. Because it did. I could write a book about it. And I've got like a lot of stories, and a lot of them were very non-active, but anyway, this one was different because I was the WWE championship at the time, so that's why it was different. So it was all over the radio and TV and internet, and then consequences. Vince was disappointed. Yeah, it was just, but I didn't feel bad about the weed part. I just felt, like, man, I should have been more careful. I should have put it in my luggage, not had it in the center console, stinking the whole car up. I should have had air freshener. That's the things I did have, Ozium. And when I was scared that the cop was going to see me like bend down or whatever, reach for it. So I told Sabu, spray a little bit. And he grabbed the Ozium and he goes, that's what I did. Looking back on it, if that motherfucker would have went, we might have had a different history. Might have never seen RVD drop those championships because he might not have said, why does the car smell like weed? He might have said, why does that car smell like Ozium? I'd say, Sabu's got gas really bad. Will you give him a ride, boy? Back in time.
Yeah, man.
Damn, yeah.
Back in time.
You can find a way. Let's see. We got Seth with $20. Happy belated birthday to RVD and Merry Christmas to everybody. I'm driving the Reggae Sunday right now and happy to catch on the pod. We need a New Year's RVDology on how to look back at the year non-judgmentally. Love y'all. Good. Good post.
Well, I will give that some thought, dude.
Yeah, we can do that before New Year's.
So got it.
Heck yeah. We got a couple more super chats. Thanks, Seth.
By the way, and we'll be out again before then, but I've always, anyone that's followed me a really long time knows that I'm not like much of a holiday person,
Yeah.
New Year's Eve is one of the more depressing holidays, in my opinion.
Really?
Yes. And I hate that song.
Oh,
They play like all the good times.
Be forgot. I don't know the name.
Yeah. It's just,
I'm not a holiday person either, man.
Aren't you?
No. And as a kid, that like my mom and dad never had company over, it seems like, but they would throw a party on New Year's Eve, and it wasn't a good experience. I hated the smell of oysters, and the sauce, just everything. And I remember Mrs. Wilbur, the old lady, falling down the steps because my dad took the railing off because we were hanging on it and shit. So he took it off for us kids, and the old lady went, whoosh, because it was too hard to grab. Like, oh, got these horrible memories. But yeah, it's always I mean, there's some of them that are kind of sad, but that might take the cake out of the whole year because it seems like it's just everyone, saying, goodbye 2024. It's really just another day, but it's about this big imaginary line, that you're stepping over and leaving a lot behind.
It's my favorite day, and it's my birthday.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh wow, really?
I love New Year's Eve because I'm always so thankful. Like I think of it as I'm so thankful to live, to have another birthday, or not be in jail, to have freedom. So I kind of feel like it's a Thanksgiving. So
no, that's in November, baby.
But it makes me thankful, and I really, really love New Year's Eve.
So your birthday's New Year's Eve or New Year's Day?
Yeah, New Year's Eve.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
That's
awesome.
dope.
That is
I never heard that before, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Celebrate the new year and your birthday every year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What a whammy. That's a double whammy.
Right. And the fireworks. Yeah.
It's all for your birthday, Katie. It's
right. That's what they always said when I was a kid.
Feels like it's all for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy falls.
I'll forget to write 2025 until like March or something. I'll start remembering.
I know, right? That's when it kicks in. The one guy followed up about how he got scammed by the AI. He said, by people pretending to be ICP, about 6 weeks, he paid $500, got beats and verses sent to me for collabs too old for the internet. So somebody was AI engineering kind of lyrics.
I hear that too. I hear people saying that, man.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, somebody somehow will hit me up on Instagram and be like, yo, is that really you on Facebook? And I'm like, no, it ain't me, man. I'm not on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on that shit. Like, we have an official ICP one and somebody updates it, but it ain't me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, you know, that's it.
Man. All right, so a couple more super chats. Wax says, for $10, we just released a parody of one of Violent J's songs. Tell him to check it out. It's Santa Claus, a parody of Super Balls. So there we go.
Oh,
check it out. And then he follows up with another $20. We just released. He said the same thing. So yeah, check it out. Wax Violent J, check it out. So
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, we did a couple Christmas songs yesterday. I was surprised I knew the lyrics so well.
Yeah.
You know I was super nervous about it, you know. And then I got out there. It's so funny, man. It's like sometimes you're super nervous and full of anxiety leading up to the event of something going wrong. But then when you're on stage and something goes wrong, it's surprising how little you give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know when you're actually in the moment and something goes wrong, like the fear of something going wrong beforehand is way worse than like if me and Joy are up on stage and the music suddenly cuts off, you know. It's like we just start kicking Fagos into the crowd, and after 3 or 4 minutes, if it don't come back on, we leave. We don't give a fuck if it comes on or not. You know what I'm saying? We hope it does so we can finish, but it's like, what can we do about it? You know what I mean? Nothing. Right. So it's not as bad as you worry about, you know, when it actually happens.
Dominator. When I first met Joe, ICP did not stand for Insane Clown Posse. Do you know what it stood for?
Ooh, I do not. No, I don't. What it
Inner
stands
City
for?
Posse.
Inner City Posse got the dog beats. ICP, they got the dog beats.
Whoa.
Yeah.
No, you don't fuck with no, you don't fuck with the funk. What is it? No, you don't fuck with the funk from the old school. Anyway, I don't know.
City Posse.
So Jay, how did it go to Insane Clown Posse? How did it go there? What prompted all that? From Inner City Posse.
I was going to think about it. No, you don't stop with there it is. No, you don't stop with the funk from the old school. There it is.
How about that?
But when you're up on stage, man, those memories will shoot right back in your head. You know what I mean?
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Man, listen to this. We played this festival called Riot Fest, right? And,
I know that.
It wasn't even a year ago, I don't think, right? Maybe it was a year ago. But me and Joy go out there, right? And something happened to me that's never happened to me before.
Yeah.
I got about 30% into the show, and suddenly I just went blank. Like I could not think of the most simplest lyrics. You know what I mean? Uh-huh. And I was up on this huge festival, and I'm like, holy shit. So a good 70% of the show, I didn't know a single lyric. You know what I mean? And after the show, I apologized to Shaggy, to Joey, and after the show, the reviews came out of the shows, and they said we were the third best act of all of right. Nobody noticed. I didn't know a single lyric. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know how that can be.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's all about presence. A lot of it. Presentation and presence is like the thing that can really get you over. And nobody, if you can do that, you can hook a crowd like that. It's nice.
maybe I knew. Maybe I was good at fronting, or I knew more lyrics than I realized. But I know every time I would get going, I would think, "Oh God, please don't forget him again," and then I'd forget him again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that shit can happen.
Can happen when you're wrestling too.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, I definitely. Yeah. Rob, do you have like almost? I was going to ask you this. We talked about your nightmare you had last week with me. But do you have like almost like wrestler nightmares where you're like in the ring and you don't know what you're doing or certain like that? Do you have any dreams like that sometimes?
I have.
Uh-huh.
I have, I think we've all had like a dream where like we're punching somebody and they're no selling it, can't hit them hard enough or something. Yeah, but I mean, it's not something that happens a lot. I usually don't remember my dreams.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that was one thing that I noticed when I quit smoking for like 4 days just for the hell of it, and all of a sudden, like I was having the most vivid dreams, and I looked it up, and that's really common to say marijuana suppresses dreams. So that's if you really like dreaming, that's one reason not to start smoking weed.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
man. You don't ever wake up like thinking you're having a match?
No. I wake up thinking that there's a spider. I feel like I already woke up. This happens over and over again. I think I've already opened up my eyes, and then I see a big spider coming down from the ceiling on a string, like right towards my face. And I'm like, and I like slam it off, and I do that. Like I've done that probably like 4 times within the last year. And then Katie's like, "You're just dreaming." And then I'm like, "Okay." And I put my flashlight on my phone, and I'm like looking for that motherfucker.
You're looking for the spider?
Yeah. Because I think that I woke up and saw that shit, but I guess I wasn't awake yet. I just dreamed that I woke up, but that's the closest I have to like a reoccurring nightmare. And the Maven and Mark Henry pointing thing only happened.
Pointing at yeah.
That only happened once.
That was quite the dream Jay he had last week.
My girlfriend had a dream. She told me she had a dream that I was sitting on a stage next to Roseanne Barr. And I was like laughing at her, you know what I'm saying? I was like, what the fuck? How the fuck, what would that be? What situation would that be? You know what I'm saying? So I do this guy's podcast, and he invites me to this event called Skank Fest, right?
Yeah.
And I said I'd go. So I went out there, and I stayed up all night because we played Seattle the night before. And I flew to Vegas, and all I had was a bag of mushrooms. And I was in the worst mood ever. I ate that bag of mushrooms, and they took us to do I thought was a podcast, but this was at this beautiful venue in Vegas, and it was in front of this huge crowd. And it was this podcast called Legion of Skanks, and it's mad popular. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I know.
I'm sitting in the crowd watching this happen as these mushrooms are kicking in, and suddenly they call out Roseanne. And I'm like, oh shit. And I'm totally forgetting that they're about to call me out.
Yeah.
Suddenly they call me out, and I'm totally gone off these mushrooms. But I go out there, and there I am sitting next to Roseanne Barr. You know what I'm saying? So what we did was we posted the text message my girlfriend sent me. It still had the date on it from when she had that dream. You know what I'm saying? With a picture of me sitting next to Roseanne Barr and the date it happened. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that nuts?
Crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Some foreshadowing shit.
Yeah, synchronicity right there, huh?
So wild, man.
Damn. Wow. All right, couple more super chats. This guy says, Montana Josh says, we always gave Joe Hogan stuff whenever he's in Montana. He gave us our first jerseys. How about that?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Probably got that very stuff you gave me down in my man cave still. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
I got figures of Rob down there. I got all my friends that I actually know. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like guys that I actually know from my life outside of wrestling, you know?
Yeah.
And I got Vampiro, you know what I'm saying? I got Sabu. I got a bunch of guys that I know. I got Scott Hall. I got all these figures down there, and I got other figures too. But yeah, you know, that's what I like to collect. You know,
personal figures. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Garrett asked, I think that's his name. Yeah, Garrett, $5. Rob, do you think Paul E has a moral obligation to pay all past ECW wrestlers or families the money he owes them now that he's well off? Do you think he has a moral obligation to that?
Sure seems like he can do it.
I don't think so at all. No, I mean, and the reason that it took me a minute to think, because it's easy for me to think that he doesn't have a professional obligation to do it. So trying to think past that, since you don't have a professional obligation to do it, that means you don't have to do it. So to reach in and pull out millions of dollars when you don't have to, and you're at a different place in life and you got your family and you're just doing it out of being generous, you want to pay somebody for some work that you did 20 years ago, I think that'd be above and beyond what any reasonable person would expect. So I don't think he should feel obligated.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Let's see.
Always with a different view, but
watch him surprise everybody one day and do it though.
And what it? Oh yeah, man.
That'd be the shit, right?
Heck yeah.
People don't understand though, like that when you make more money, your living expenses usually cost more. You know what I mean? Like I remember when I had a $400 apartment in Augusta, Georgia, filled with cockroaches, and since my rent was $400, I remember when I was in WCW, and these guys are making like $800 a week. Like supposedly Chris Benoit. I would love to hear your Chris Benoit story because I heard you tell it before, Joe. You know, I almost requested it, but anyway. And Max Payne, and anyway, I was just thinking in my head like, whoa, 1,600. That's 3,200 a month. And I was just thinking like, holy shit, I could get so far ahead. But then, realize, once you move into like a real place, then there goes that much. It's like people can only imagine other people having money in their shoes. And that's not the way it happens. So, it's not like people think like, oh, come on, Paul's got millions. They think it's all freed up money because it sounds like so much to them. But
right.
When you got a place and you're paying $5-6 grand a month mortgage compared to that $400 makes a big difference, and as does your whole lifestyle, because that's what you want,
Yeah. That time the things change, the whole scale of it changes. And then this guy asked you, Jay, if you would be interested in working at an indie show in Kentucky, May 24th through the 25th. Trying to get you booked.
Yeah.
No, every time I get an offer like that, you know what I mean? This is what I tell them. Yeah. I say, if you bring in 3 JCW guys, right? Bring in 3 JCW guys. And let's see, cover my, where's that at?
Kentucky, indie show. Yeah, in Kentucky, May 24th.
Yeah, you should leave them up there. You always take
May 4th and 5th. We're starting our farewell tour in May. Oh, yeah, I don't think we'll be able to do that. But I was gonna say, you bring in 3 JCW guys, and I'll come in for free. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's how I do it. Especially if you got TV down there. You know what I mean? Because we want to get our guys on TV. You know what I'm saying? And then people aware of JCW, so we do like an angle or something where these guys are there representing JCW. You know what I mean? And then we would do it.
And Joe, they can get a hold of you through Only Wrestlers, right?
Yep.
There you go.
That's the thing. See, here's the way I see it. Like I do a lot of wrestling conventions, although Now I have a different guy instead of bad business Bobby and dishonest Dylan. But I at the conventions, I see everybody, and you only have like a minute with the fans. They're waiting in line. Sometimes they wait in line for holy shit for like an hour or something. If it's moving real slow and there's a big line, whatever. They get up there, and it's like, hey, I always try and give them their time and talk to them, sign, boom. But then, it's like then they just walk off, like, wow. And then boom, it's completely over for them until they might see me again somewhere at another convention 6 months down, whatever. It's now you can extend the experience when the person walks away. Say, by the way, follow me on Only Wrestlers. Boom. Now they can keep in touch with you and keep in touch with what you're doing, where you're going, all this shit, and then where they can hook up with you again or whatever. So pretty cool. And that's what I want wrestlers to realize. Like that's what it's for. It's a platform. It's there. There's a lot of other platforms too, but this one's like a wrestling hub kind of thing. And that's just part of it because when we do the shows and stuff, then like we talked about here, our talent roster will be the bookables that we'll be choosing from to do our shows. And then we're always going to be coming up with agendas for the followers to do as a community. And by the way, we have a community chat center. It's one of the headers on itonlywrestlers.com on the website, and everyone can go in the chat room and talk to each other there and stuff. So it's kind of a new feature. Something really cool. Katie and I did a live chat on there. That was fun to launch it. And we want to do more of that and then improve that to where we can do podcasts and feature all of our other content creators, whoever wants, that platform, that window to do whatever they want to do with. So eventually,
I'm getting naked on mine.
There we go.
We'll keep that one on his private, not on the homepage.
That'll be on the community chat.
Fuck it, man. I'm giving them a show.
Give me a real show, Jay.
Wherever they want, man. Shit. You want to see me naked? Done.
If that's what
you like it. I look like melting fucking whipped cream.
Welcome, Juggalos.
Welcome to Juggalos. D just says, thanks for the memories, Rob and Jay. Rob, fellow
Kajukendo guy.
Okay. Jay.
Double scoop of whoop. As Joe put it.
2 scoops of whoop.
Oh, 2 scoops of whoop. That's it. Cool. That's very cool. You don't run into not too many Kajukendo guys. So that's a martial art that I was going to show you.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so if you can break it down, Kajukendo, ka is karate, right?
Yeah.
Ju is judo.
Oh, judo.
No, but jiu-jitsu is in there too. You are not incorrect about that. You are right. And then Kenbo, Bo is boxing, and Kenpo, 5 arts. And you're right because you got the jiu-jitsu as well. Kaju, Kenbo, and Ju is judo and jiu-jitsu.
Oh, okay.
Wait, no, that's only 4. Kaju, Ken. Oh no, that's 5. But anyway, it's really cool and it's realistic. Kind of like Krav Maga, the Israeli art, where you gouge people's eyes and stuff like that. Like that's part of it, and I really enjoyed it. Sifu Katani taught it in Savannah, Georgia. Maybe this person took it with me. I don't know, but we used to go to the Gold's Gym in Savannah, and I miss Sifu Katani. Enjoyed his classes.
How about that? Wow, that's pretty sweet.
It is.
How long did you take that?
I don't know. I don't even know. It could be anywhere from. It seems like it was like a year, but it could have been 2 years. I'm not really sure. And then I didn't go through the belts. He said that he would pass me through the belts, but I had to learn the katas. And so to go, you start as a white belt, but then to go to the next belt, you got to learn and show. I don't know if it's 2 to 4, punch block techniques, and then like 2 to 4 this technique, and then there's the katas, which is the kind of like the dance, it's where like you go through the steps, like you pivot and do a downward circular block while you're pivoting and then strike. It's kind of like a little choreographed thing. And man, Seifu Katani went through so much trouble because I traveled a lot. He would always let me come in and spar with everybody and stuff, even before I started with his classes. But and I'd spar with him. But he went through so much trouble. He videoed him on camera going through all of these. Like, here's 4 different katas that you got to learn to go to the next one. And he would have it. And it's, it's like, boom, step to the left, inward block, strike, downward block, like whatever. It was like boom, 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 boom. And it, bam, it was like so much like a robot choreographed, and I never learned them. And I always felt like, man, that dude like went through so much trouble for him. And I remember when I was watching them, it was like a mirror effect. So I was like, wait, if he's going is that his right or my right? And I remember like getting lost like right from the start. Yeah. And then I just learned like enough to kind of fake through some of the beginning of the classes and shit with that stuff. But I mean, obviously I did learn a lot from it, but I always just enjoyed the sparring the most. But man, he went through so much trouble. I could learn on my own and just come in and test for the belts. Man, that's how cool he was.
That's an effort right there. Hell yeah. Garrett closes out. He says, "Good point with regarding Heyman." He says, "Also, what's something surprising about Sabu or a fun fact that people don't know?"
No.
Okay. Do you have anything you'd like to share, baby? Let's see. A lot of people know that.
People want to know he's funny because he's like low key funny.
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
He's the only guy I've ever seen wear sweatpants and cowboy boots.
And a baseball cap on backwards.
That is a fun fact. I like that one.
Yeah, well, I want to say this, but people do know this because I've heard other wrestlers talk about Sabu this way, but he is the most generous motherfucker that you will ever meet. And a lot of people don't know that, but he's overly generous. He gives everything away, even when he doesn't have it. And he's always done that. I've known him since 1989. I remember the first time we were at a gas station and we had just gotten paid like $20 a piece for this crappy little match. And he gave the guy at the gas station $10. And we were like, dude, why did you do that? And he's, that's all like you got to eat. And that's all we got. And he goes, but he didn't have anything. Wow. And that's the way that he sees it and always has said. He always thought the life would just get him back. But he has been overly generous with tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it was a lot to go along for that ride for his Japanese wife. He told me, here's something that maybe people might not know. Probably not too many people. So one time, I showed up into town. We all come into town, and then we're gonna go from the airport to the show, and we're all at the car rental place at the same time, with Avis or whoever it was. And I was by myself, and the Sabu was with Sandman and Test. And Shelly Martinez was there with someone I don't know who. Anyway, Sabu decided he's going to ride with me. But he said that he would pay for test in Sandman's car because he was supposed to go with them, and I guess him pay for it or something. Somehow Shelly put it on her card, and Sabu just said, "I'll pay you back, and I'll pay you if anything happens to it." And then me and Sabu left, and we're heading towards the town, and all of a sudden, like, it's so foggy, you cannot see in front of you at all. His phone rings. He's like, "What? Oh my God!" He goes, "Hey man, and Tess just got in an accident." And I said, "Dude, they're ribbing you, bro." And he goes, "What? You think so?" I go, "Look how foggy it is outside. Of course they're gonna rib you. But you said you would pay for it." And oh, okay, God damn, right. And then it rings again. But I don't think they're ribbing. They have to be, dude. Pretty soon we pulled up on the crash site. They weren't ribbing. Sandman and Tess had hit a deer and spun and slammed into the railing there, and they were fucked up. And long story short, Sabu had to explain to his wife why he owed Sean Martinez 30 grand.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Damn. That's fucking crazy. Wow.
Anybody that knows Sabu, though, like he's always way back when I was training, he would pay the bill. Even if I had friends there, he'd pay hey, you don't got to take care of their bill. Well, they didn't make any money tonight. I did, and that's the way he always thought. And
wow, that's awesome of him.
Yeah, I've always said to put the brakes on him for his own good, but that's been something that that's how he lives.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Sabu's a great dude. Great dude. Triple E asks this of you, Violent J. Violent J, if booking a match, film cinematic against any three people choosing versus Dr. Teeth, Animal, Zoot of the Electric Mayhem, who's going over, and what's y'all's favorite Christmas song or movie?
I don't know what who Zoot and Animal and Teeth
the
are.
Muppets.
Do you guys?
Remember the band in the Muppets? They had Dr. Teeth had the top hat. Animal was the drummer, right? And then
right.
Dude, I can't remember who Zoot was though.
I remember Animal the drum. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Electric Mayhem. Right. Cinematic.
It would be. Damn, that's a crazy ass question. I can't answer
this.
Cinematic match against.
So you pick three partners.
I love you, baby.
I love you.
Thanks for hanging in there.
Thank you.
Sorry. My favorite Christmas movie is Scrooge with Bill Murray.
Yes. That's a good one. It's a great one.
And my favorite Christmas song is probably Run DMC's Christmas in Hollis Queen. What is it called? Christmas.
Yeah, that's it. Christmas in Hollis.
Christmas in Hollis,
yeah.
And the three wrestlers I would choose would be the three most cinematic wrestlers I could think of, which would be, of course, Bray Wyatt, the Undertaker, and Vampiro.
Ooh, nice. That's a good combo. Good combo. Hell yeah.
And it would be a slaughter.
It would be a slaughter.
A squash match.
Last match. That's it. Rob, you're not a holiday person. Do you have a favorite Christmas movie?
Favorite Christmas movie?
Toy Time.
What'd you say?
Toy Time.
Toy Time. Time Toy. Is it Toy Time? No, Time Toys. The one that I was in. No, that wasn't the Christmas movie anyway. Time Toys. I was in one called A Second Chance. Yeah, but is Modern Problems a Christmas movie? I like that one.
I don't know that one. I don't
Chase. I'm not thinking of when I was a kid. No, I guess I don't probably have a favorite holiday. I don't think I have a favorite Christmas movie. Hey, but Violent J, Can you share the story real quick about Chris Benoit and you pounding on the door when he's trying to record, about to do an interview?
Tell that story?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
When we were in WCW, they used to have a booth in the back area of the arenas, right? Those backstage areas were big, you know, and they had a booth built backstage.
At Peachtree, right?
Inside the booth, it looked like a locker room, and there was a TV cameras everywhere, and that's where Mean Gene would do promos inside this booth, right? It was sitting backstage at the arena. My voice is all gone, and probably from the show last night. So what happened is there's a red light on the outside of the booth when somebody's in there recording. You know what I mean? So somebody at WCW told us, you guys got promos at 9:30 or whatever at the booth, you know? So we get to the booth and the red light is on. It was me, Shaggy, and Vampiro, and the red light was on. And I don't know how Joey knew Vamp was going to do this, but I didn't know. Vamp all of a sudden banged down the door, bang, 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 even though the red light was on, right? And him and Joey ran. And I was just standing there right at the door. And it opened up and it was Chris Benoit, man. And he was like, stuck his neck out and his face was right near mine. And he was like, what the fuck are you doing, clown? He had all the veins in his neck and shit. He was like, you don't see the red light? And I was like, I couldn't do anything but rat Vamp out. I was like, Vampiro banged down the fucking door and they ran off, man. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? That's all I could do. You know what I'm saying? I was scared to death. Another time, the same exact thing happened in a different way. Goldberg was shooting a vignette, coming down the hallway screaming for Sid Vicious. This is in WCW also. And they're walking with the cameras backward while Goldberg's walking at the camera, you know, screaming, Sid, Sid. So the cameraman gets right up to where I'm at. We're in the doorway watching him go by. You know what I mean? We're in like one of the locker rooms watching him go by. And as soon as the cameraman gets right up, and it's right between Goldberg and the cameraman, Vampiro shoves me from behind. And I go flying into both of them, Vampiro and the cameraman. You know what I mean? And I was terrified. You know what I'm saying? And I did the same fucking thing. I was like, fucking Vampiro, fucking shut me out here. The motherfucker, I'm sorry, you know? And so I was so scared. And later that day, we had a fucking little skit to do with Goldberg where he was going to throw me into some barrels or something, right? So Goldberg's still looking for Sid. And when he grabbed me to throw me in those barrels, I had my Diamond Hatchet Man charm on, right? Man, when I went flying into the barrels, I looked at the Hatchet Man. It was all folded up. the little running man, you know, it was all folded up and all the diamonds were popped out of it and shit. That shit, he just grabbed it and crumbled it in his fucking fist and threw me. You know what I'm saying? Wild, man.
Damn.
Awesome.
I got another funny story about Goldberg, man.
Yeah.
In WCW. One time we were sitting in the arena before the show opens, you know, and there's just a couple wrestlers standing around, nobody in the arena, you know, just the workers and everything. And Goldberg is standing ringside on this side of the guardrail, and he's got his sweatpants on, right? And he's got his hands cupping his balls. You know what I'm saying? They're in his pants, cupping his balls, which is something many men do. You know what I'm saying? So Evan Courageous comes walking up to Goldberg. Me and Joy are sitting there and we're watching all this. And Evan Courageous comes walking up to Goldberg and he goes to say something and he puts his hand out to give him a dap, you know. So Goldberg removes his hand from his balls and goes to give him the dap. You know what I'm saying? And Evan Courageous ghosts him like, whoa, man, no, that was on your balls. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Goldberg snatched that kid by the neck.
Oh, man.
Snatched that kid by the neck. And I'm telling you right now, choke slammed him over the guardrail.
Oh, my God.
Lifted him up by the neck over the guardrail, slammed him on the floor. And Evan Courageous went, he hit the ground, bang. It did like a backward somersault on the mat or whatever. And he fucking ran. you know.
Yeah.
And he came and sat by me. And Joe, he was like, "Did you fucking see what just happened?" We were like, "Yeah, we saw that." You know what I'm saying? He was like, "What the fuck? Is my neck red?" We're like,
Oh yeah.
and he was like, "If I sue, will you testify in court?" We were like, "Fuck no." We were like, nah.
You have just stabbed him even though he touched his balls.
It's so funny, man. I never hear about that. I always tell that story when I get a chance. And as much as I see about fights and shit back in the day, like they tell the same stories over and over. You know what I mean? On the shit I watch, and nobody ever tells that story. Man. It was, I guess not enough people saw it happen or something. You know what I'm saying? But man, that was the shit, man.
Holy shit, man.
Such a cool thing to see.
Yeah. I would have never expected that. Evan Courageous and Goldberg. And over balls and a handshake. Jeez.
Goldberg just wasn't in the mood that day, man.
No,
Holy
man.
shit.
Jeez, I'd say not. Holy crap. Well, Jay, okay. So we have almost 8,000 people tuning in. But what do you want to plug regarding JCW and everything, Lunacy, everything? Can you hear me?
He's getting a silent treatment. He's pleading the fifth.
He's pleading the fifth.
Yeah, I broke my.
Man, we had fun in WCW, man.
Oh, hell yeah. But, Jay, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes it's cutting in and out, though.
Yeah, cutting in. Okay. So I would just say, though, we almost have 8,000 people tuning in. I just wanted to get you to plug anything you want with JCW Lunacy. Or,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Check it out. Give us a shout. Give us a chance, man. We want to earn your respect. Check out JCW Lunacy on YouTube. You know what I mean? There's 8 episodes. And then after that, if you put in JCW Lunacy Live, there's like another 14 episodes. Or if you got the Triller app, you can see our pay-per-views on Triller, you know?
Yeah.
But check us out. Give us a shot, man. That'd be the shit. And you might like something, what you see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's good shit. Also follow Violent J on Only Wrestlers and follow JCW on Only Wrestlers.
Hell yeah, do that.
That's right. Give that a shot, man. You might like what you see there too.
No doubt. Get the whole immersive experience of it all. Check it out on YouTube and check it out on Only Wrestlers. You can't beat it. Yeah. And you can check out the live, like you were saying too. There's a live tab you can go to, and there's a bunch of live shows I saw that were available too. So
it's only getting bigger and bigger. It's expanding like fucking Netflix did and Amazon.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Rob, anything else you want to get out too before we close on out too?
I don't think so, dude.
Yeah. Katie, you want to plug anything?
Yeah, y'all can follow me on Instagram at Katie Forbes, the number 4 real, Katie Forbes 4 real. And on X, you can follow me, the Katie Forbes. And I'm on Only Wrestlers.
Heck yeah, do that to it. Do it to it. All right. This has been a fun Christmas episode. Thanks for everybody. Yeah, appreciate everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Ho, ho, ho.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Hell yeah.
And Jay, thanks for joining us for this time and everything, and being so generous with this time too.
Yeah. Hey, I think I gave you a German suplex and hurt your neck in the barn in 1990 when you were working out in the barn.
Damn.
And then you went home.
Driving all the way out there, getting wounded and driving back. Just getting shamed out there, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, but everybody that would come to the Sheik's, come to his ring and work out, that wasn't me or Sabu or Judge Dredd or Dango, they would always just come like once, and then like Malcolm would come, and he had another guy with him, and that guy would come, like we'd see him once every like month or so. He'd do a workout, and but then even you, like you came, I think a couple times, or And then we would see. But everybody thought that we were crazy because Sheik taught us so stiff, huh?
Yeah.
And Machine Gun Mike Keller and El Snow were like, whoa, you guys ease up. Yeah.
Damn.
How about them troops?
Yeah, how about them troops?
Yeah. I would say salute the corporal when I was healing. I'd say salute the corporal.
Awesome. All right, cool. All right, thanks, guys.
Cool,
Talk
good
to
stuff.
you both soon.
Yes, we'll see you guys next time here on One of a Kind with RVD. Thank you, Violent J.
Damn fam.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.